Hello, I'm Jason and welcome to Superfast Comic Book Reviews. Today I will be reviewing the books that were released on the 27th of February. The whole idea with this video is I would try to take 90 seconds or less to review each book. I say try, I don't always achieve that. I will outline the good, the bad, and also give each book a 5-star rating. I will also do my pick of the week, which is the book I enjoyed most this week, and I will also do my geek out moment of the week, which I'm trying to think of a better wording for it, but it is really the most impactful moment. Whether it's a moment that filled you was happy to see, maybe the return of a character, or a twist of the story that you was glad to see, a twist you never expected to come in, the moment that shocks you or surprises you, or some moment that really impacts you emotionally. It could be any of those, and I always pick it out. I'm trying to think of a better word for it, rather than geek out moment of the week, because I think that sounds rather, you can kind of construe that it's just like shocks and stuff, or things that where it's not just that, it's the moments that really impact you and leave a lasting impression. So I'm still trying to think of a better word for that yet, but for now we call it geek out moment of the week. Before I get on with my reviews, I just want to update. Those of you who watch my videos regularly will have noticed a lot of changes lately. People, requested shorter videos, so that's why Superfast Comic Book Reviews was born. That they'll be shorter and more to the point. And for a while, I was thinking I was going to do that, and I was going to do a longer video, more in-depth video with all my books. But I did that for 1 week and it felt a bit repetitive, like I was saying the same stuff twice. So what I've decided to do now, and this is a combination of ideas that I've got from viewers, but also things I've been thinking about myself. What I'm going to do is every week, the books that I buy, all the books that I release that I buy each week, I will review here. If I pick up any week a book, like this week Saga was delayed a week, so I picked that up this week, and I picked up Nova, which were both books from last week. I would do them in separate reviews. Like if you go to my YouTube channel, you will see I've got for Saga issue 10 and Nova number 1, I've got separate reviews up, and I will always do that now for older books that I pick up, and maybe rather than stick them in the review video, I'll do separately. Also, what I'll do is each week is, if there's a book I want to talk about more, maybe there's spoilers in it that I want to talk about, or maybe just I feel there's a lot more depth I want to get into with talking about certain things, I will review every book here in a short version. Then I may do separate videos, maybe pick 1 or 2 books a week where I do a more in-depth review of those books. That is the working idea at the moment. Everything does change, so things could change again if I find things are not working, or I just think there's a better way. Constantly trying to improve and get better at this thing, and hopefully that shows in my videos. But anyway, that's enough of me yakking about what's happening with my reviews. Let's get down to why we're all here, to review some comics. Hello, first up today we have Aquaman issue 17. As you can see from the cover, it is the Throne of Atlantis epilogue. The story, we get to see Aquaman now. He's the reluctant king of Atlantis. I like the position they've put Aquaman in, that this reluctant king, he knows if he's not king of Atlantis, there's probably going to be war between the surface world and Atlantis. So I like where they're taking his character, and the book is just still really interesting and really good. I felt a lot more on Atlantis' side than the surface world. I think the surface world are acting a bit out of order. Or if you look at everything that's been done in this book, while I can't side with their Atlantis' aggression, I can understand more their position than the surface world's. It was a very quick read. I don't know, we've got a preview in the back of Constantine, so I don't know if they've cut some pages to fit that in, but it does feel a very quick read, and when I finished it I was really surprised I'd come to the end. I really miss Ivan Reis on art, one of my favourite artists, but Paul Papetier does a really good job. There's this double page spread in particular near the end of the book that I just think is really awesome. I really love that picture, but all in all, it's still a really good read. I'm still really intrigued on where they're going to go with this. I would never have believed at the beginning of the New 52 that I'd enjoy an Aquaman book as much as I am, but it's still a great read, and I give Aquaman issue 17 4 stars. Next up we have Uncanny X-Force issue number 2, and it didn't wow me like issue 1 did. I've got to say that right out of the gate. The main story that we follow, which is Puck, Cyclops and Storm chasing Spiral and this young mutant child, that doesn't really get advanced much. It's just a lot of running around, but nothing really. We don't learn much more other than like that this child is obviously not being born held against her will. There's something more between her and Spiral, but the rest of it doesn't really move forward at all. The other stories that are running like the thing with Bishop and also the thing with Phantom X and Cloyster, they seem to be moving forward, and you can see how the 3 stories are going to link up eventually. So that was good, even though our main thing didn't advance. The art once again is still really great. I like the colouring as well. There's some interesting choices with the colouring in some scenes which I felt worked. The cliffhanger at the end for me was the high point of the issue, and make sure that I'll be back for the next issue. I'm also really curious to see how they're going to work as a team, because with the exception of Storm, all the characters seem very abrasive, and I don't know how they're going to function as a team. So that's something that does intrigue me. I'm still enjoying it, and I give Uncanny X-Force issue number 2 4 stars. Next up we have FF issue number 4. As always, the art and the colouring in this book are fantastic. It's like when you open your curtains to a bright summer's day. That's what it's like opening this book. It just feels so joyful and vibrant, and it's so much fun to look at. But my question, continually in my mind, while I do enjoy the art internally in the book, my question is, how versatile is that art? Can it convey real serious emotion? Because you're dealing with characters. You've got Ant-Man, who's still dealing with the death of his daughter. You know, there's also this Human Torch. Is he the real Human Torch? Is he some kind of clone or doppelganger? So you've got serious things going on, and I was like, will the art be able to convey that emotion, or is this kind of like a one-trick pony? Can this only have comedy hijinks and capers and not really get into serious territory? And while, yeah, you don't want every book to be dark, you do at least want the art to be able to move in which direction the story goes. And with the characters involved, I don't see how. And so when I started this book, I was really excited, because I thought we're going to deal with some serious stuff, as Ant-Man wants to take the group to go and kill Doctor Doom, and the kids aren't really down with that. And then Medusa really calls the Human Torch out. So you think, yeah, we're going to get some serious stuff going on this issue, and we're really going to see how great Mike Aldridge's art is. But then we get this like interlude where with the Moloids and Bentley 13 trying to ruin She-Hulk's date with Wyatt Wingfoot, and it felt like an interlude, but then that interlude became the rest of the issue and was the main story. We never got to see the bits we started with, and it was just like they forgot to put the end of the comic on, because we just dealt with that main story. There's a great scene at the end with those Bentley 13. That was my Geek Out moment of the week. I didn't expect that to come up at the end of the book. I don't know if it's in character for that person, but it was a moment that really surprised me and shocked me in a positive kind of way. But yeah, it's still a good book, and I give FF 4 stars plus my Geek Out moment of the week. Next up we have The Flash issue 17, and this is the conclusion, the finale to Guerrilla Warfare story arc that's been running for the past few issues. And we do get a conclusion. It feels like an end of a story. While there's other threads that carry on, but the end sort of comes early in the issue, which is both good and bad. It was bad in the point that you was like, wow, he ended that quick. But then at the same time, a lot of the groundwork for him winning the fight had been set up in the last issue. And the advantage of it finishing quick, we would get to see a lot of other things with other characters, which were laying groundwork for future stories, which I think was a good move overall. I kind of like the love story that's developing with Iris West. I cannot say Iris. It's really difficult. It always comes out sounding like Irish. I don't know why. But Iris West and Patty and Barry, there's a kind of bizarre love triangle going on. You know, with Patty, she really likes Barry, but Barry does have, you can see he has feelings for Iris, and Iris does have feelings for Barry, and it's like, I like that, and I think that's going to be an interesting situation. As always, the art and the colouring here are great. Francis Manapul and Brian Buccellato, oh God, I can't pronounce that name. Brian, you see there, Brian Buccellato. They do the art and the colouring as well as doing the co-writing the story, and it's a fantastic job that they do. Not everyone can pull off the writing and the art doing both, but they both do it magnificently. Integrate the art into the whole feel of the book, and it's just one of my favourite books. It looks really nice. The colours are kind of like, they remind me of kind of like a pastel kind of colour base, very light kind of colour, but it works for the book, and I've really enjoyed the heck out of this one, and I'm still enjoying the heck out of this one, and I give The Flash issue 17 4 stars. So here we have it, Hawkeye issue 8. This is my pick of the week. I just really enjoyed this book. It's another one like Saga that I find difficult to review because you've said everything before, and everything that I've said before stays true here. It's great this issue to sort of see the earlier stories starting to come together. I think that sort of happened, I think it was last issue, no, 2 issues ago. That sort of happened, that whole earlier stories coming together, I think, and I like that now, that while they felt at the time like standalone stories, they're coming together. As always, the art and the colour are brilliant and add to the script. I love the way Matt Fraction writes Clint Barton as a hero, but a hero who also has flaws. Before he's a hero, he's a man, and every man has flaws. Every human being has flaws, and I like that he makes him a much more relatable hero than somebody who's perfect and good at everything. That yeah, he can hit anything with a bow and arrow, but when it comes to relationships, he's not so great. You know, and I'm really loving where this book is heading. I've just really enjoyed it. The art, like I say, the art as always is just brilliant, and I just run out of things to say. I just love this book every week. It was the best books of the books that were released this week. It was the best, and it's my pick of the week, and I give it 5 stars. And finally, we have Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1, and for the first time in a long time, Marvel give us a real bargain. It's an extra thicker book. You can feel it's extra thicker, but it's still $3.99. So, well done Marvel there. I often criticise them for not being great value for money, but here they actually pull something out here that I was impressed with. The whole issue is basically the origin story of Star-Lord, which I really liked. It felt a bit repetitive after reading Nova this week as well. Some of the threads, like with the whole bullying and stuff and daddy issues, it kind of did feel in parts a bit repetitive, even though they have a slightly different slant here. And maybe that's just the fact that you've read 2 origin stories in a week, and there's always going to be some kind of crossover with any. I would love to know, is this Star-Lord's original origin, or have they changed it or updated it? Because this story was really good. I enjoyed seeing his whole origin, and I thought it was a great thing to do to sort of set up the first issue that comes out next month. I love the ending, how they made it all tie into the next issue. I thought that was good. The art by, I think it's Steve McNiven, was great. I loved on the last page, what will be the letters page, they have like the history of Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of give you the history of the publication and how the team started out and everything, which I think was a great thing to put in this, and I think they should do that a lot more with first issues and give you a bit of overview with the character in case you want to go and dig out some of them older books. But yeah, I'm definitely going to pick up the next issue of this. It definitely left me intrigued. I liked as well how the beginning very much opened in the same way that Nova opened, with that whole Guardians of the Galaxy thing there. And I enjoyed this issue, and I give Guardians of the Galaxy 0.1. I give it 4 stars.